Today we're going to talk about the L and R sound, as in flies and fries, because when they're pronounced in proximity, close together, there is sometimes confusion among non-native speakers. So let's look at the position of the mouth, but before we do that, just a few simple pieces of advice on how to benefit from these pronunciation classes. I advise you to repeat after me during the live. And then even better is to listen to it again and repeat it again on Instagram, on my YouTube video. And then the best is to record yourself. Recording yourself gives you the evidence you need to know how far you are from your goal. And again, these are your goals and not anyone else's. You want to feel proud, or you want to like the sound that you're producing in English. So that is very specific to individuals. Let's practice. All right, the L and the R. The L is where the tongue touches, as you can see in the photo, the roof of the mouth right behind the front teeth. So we have L, L, and that tongue will just touch the top or the roof. We call it the roof or the top of the mouth. And the R sound, R, the tongue curls in the back. And so it sort of closes the air column in the back of the throat, and we produce the R sound. Let's try that. L, R, R. So we're going to practice those two sounds, and we're going to start with the L sound. So I'm going to pronounce all three, then I'm going to give you time to repeat it, and then I'll do it again. So here we go. Fries, flies, fries. Fries, flies, fries. Rent, lent, rent. Rent, lent, rent. Correct, collect, correct. Correct, collect, correct. Code, cold, code. Here the L sound is shaved a bit, it's softened, it's smoothed over in the shadow of the D. So let's try it again. Code, cold, code. All right, very good. You can listen to those again later if you had difficulties. Let's now turn to the R sound, and then we're gonna mix them together where the fun begins. All right, I'll repeat it. I'll do all three. Late, rate, late. Late, rate, late. Play, pray, play. Play, pray, play. Chain, train, chain. Chain, train, chain. A chain is those metal links that you secure something. Often you have a bike chain so that people don't steal it. That's a chain. Jaw, draw, jaw. This is your jawbone. Jaw, draw, jaw. And we have a slang term. If you ever hear native speakers talking, what are you jawing about? What are you jawing about is slang for talking. What are you talking about? They use jaw. What are you jawing about? You might hear that in an informal setting. All right, now we're going to combine the sounds and we're going to practice this quite a bit. So get ready. Here we go. All right. Surprise or supplies. Surprise, supplies. Now let's read them both in the sentence because they both work. The surprise came later. Again, the surprise came later. And the second option, the supplies came later. The supplies came later. Good. Number 2, collect, correct. Collect, correct. All right, we'll do both versions because they both can work. I'll correct it tomorrow. Again, I'll correct it tomorrow. Next, I'll collect it tomorrow. I hope I didn't repeat that. Again, I'll collect it tomorrow. All right, number 3, flight, fright. Flight, fright. Here only one works. We had a great flight. We had a great flight. You could say we had a great fright, we were afraid, but that's really not natural English. Fright is from frightened, or you're afraid of something. Number 4, trees, cheese. Trees, cheese. Both of these work. I saw something in the trees. I saw something in the trees. All right, next, I saw something in the cheese. We hope not, but I saw something in the cheese. All right, number 5, the second word is difficult. Jaw, drawer. Jaw, drawer. Let's practice that second word because it's not drawer, it's drawer. Like roar, a lion roars. Let's try it. Drawer, drawer. All right, she broke her lower jaw. She broke her lower jaw. All right, let's move on to short phrases, but some of these words begin to be their intermediate level here. Revealing the rules. Revealing the rules. Revealing means telling or showing, to discover. already relieved, already relieved. Relieved means you're no longer anxious or nervous, you're relaxed. Raining in Florida. Raining in Florida. Attractive travel plan. Attractive travel plan. We can use attractive in this sense to mean a great plan. That's very attractive. A lot of people would like it. Increasingly liberal. Increasingly liberal. Primarily favorable. Primarily favorable. Voluntary release. Voluntary release. Voluntary is something you do on your own. Release is oftentimes referred in this context to jail. Somebody is let go, let out of jail. Royal ritual. Royal ritual. Relevant reply. Relevant reply. Traditional role. Traditional role. All right. Relevant is something that is related to the topic. It's relevant. If it's irrelevant, it's not related. It's completely different. Number 11, let's go to the next slide. Elaborate but reliable. Elaborate but reliable. Elaborate means in great detail. Elaborate but reliable. Temporarily struggling. Temporarily struggling. Temporarily means for a short time. Original principle. Original principle. Deliberately practical. Deliberately practical. If something is deliberate, it's on purpose. It's not by accident or coincidence. It was pre-planned. It was deliberate. Trouble trusting. Trouble trusting. Glorious reflection. Glorious reflection. So if we look into water, a pond in the park, we can sometimes see a reflection of ourselves. That's called a reflection if we can see ourselves. Or it reflects the sun into our eyes. Number 17, responsible relative. Responsible relative. Relatives or relative is our cousin, our aunt or aunt, an uncle, our niece and nephew. These are relatives, people related to us by blood or by marriage. Military general. Military general. Realizes responsibility. Realizes responsibility. Resulting resolution. Resulting resolution. Resolution. Resolution is a decision that's been made, often in a formal body or legislature or something. You have a resolution that's been passed. All right, let's move on finally to sentences. These are advanced, so I will help you in these. So let's begin with the first one. My rambunctious feline, Riley, thrived on approval and treats. All right, so rambunctious means someone who is, or something is uncontrollable. They're uncontrolled, they're rambunctious. Kids, young children are often rambunctious, especially these young boys with lots of energy. They're uncontrollable. Feline is a cat. And thrived is when you're doing very well. If you have a thriving business, your business is making money. It's doing very well. So let's try the sentence again. A rambunctious feline, Riley, thrived on approval and treats. Now, treats are little little desserts for cats or dogs, but these are treats. All right, number 2. Bruce's client remained relatively flexible and professional. Bruce's client remained relatively flexible and professional. In their proposal, is their proposal practical, considering the substantial monetary sacrifices? All right, substantial means a lot. Monetary means money. Sacrifices means it's a lot of money spent. You're spending a lot of money on an investment, perhaps. So let's read it again. Is their proposal practical, considering the substantial monetary sacrifices? All right, number 4. The diplomatic struggle illustrated the inherent problems of an elementary solution. All right. Illustrated is to show. Inherent is something that's natural within a certain condition. The diplomatic struggle illustrated the inherent problems of an elementary solution. All right, and number 5, I will explain these. A ruse is a trick. If you're trying to deceive or trick somebody, And then convoluted is something very elaborate, very detailed, and difficult to follow. You can't really follow it. It's not very clear. So if someone has a convoluted speech, it means you didn't understand it very well. All right, ridiculously is informal for very, a lot. That's what this means here. Ridiculously convoluted means very, very unclear. Or in this case, very, very elaborate, very detailed, because it's a ruse, it's a trick. All right. The elaborate ruse was ridiculously convoluted and resulted in failure. Elaborate also means detailed. The elaborate ruse was ridiculously convoluted and resulted in failure.